Estados Unidos no acepta el acuerdo entre Irán y su país. Porque Donald Trump dice, no me gustan tus condiciones. No son muchas. La primera, el final inmediato a la guerra en todos los frentes y garantías de que no se vuelva a agredir a Irán. El segundo, el levantamiento de las sanciones de Estados Unidos. Tercero, la gestión de Irán sobre el estrecho de Hormuz. Es mi estrecho, es mi problema y yo lo manejo como quiera. El cuarto, el final del bloqueo naval contra Irán. No tiene ningún extra, solo cerrar el trato. La derogación de las sanciones secundarias con el tema de la venta de petróleo iraní durante un periodo de 30 días. La liberación de los activos congelados de Irán. La implementación de algunas medidas por parte de Estados Unidos para garantizar que cumpla lo que está firmando. Porque si hay algo que Estados Unidos nos ha dejado muy en claro es que si quiere, si lo desea, los acuerdos, los tratados, las negociaciones se las pasa por donde se le antoje.
You know, a lot of people said, well, does he have a plan? Yeah, of course they do have the best plan ever. I mean, Iran has been defeated militarily, totally. They have a little left. They probably built up during this period of time. We'll knock that out in about a day. But I have a plan. You know, it is a very simple plan. I don't know why you don't say it like it is. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They're very dangerous. They're very volatile. It's a terrible thing that's happened over there. They've killed 42,000 people in the last 2 months. 42,000. At least that's what we know of. 42,000 people. They killed numerous people over the last week. But they killed 42,000 people a month and a half ago. They were unarmed protesters, not at all violent protesters. And they started taking them out, shooting them. So we're not going to let them. That's the plan. You know, people say, what's the plan? The plan is very simple. The blockade, first of all, was a part of military genius, just like Venezuela was military genius. We have the greatest military in the world by far. And we're stocked up with great ammunition. We have much better stuff than we did 2 months ago when we first did the attack, which knocked them for a loop. But very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. You can't have it. And if they did have it, the Middle East would be gone, Israel would be gone, and they'd hit Europe probably next. We're doing the service to the world. And this has gone on for 47 years. Other presidents and leaders of other countries that have the power should have done it, but they didn't do it. But it's a very simple plan. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't have a nuclear weapon, and they didn't want to go that far. If you can believe it, they didn't. How stupid. Are they stupid people? They didn't want to believe it. They think that, well, I'll get tired of this, or I'll get bored, or I'll have some pressure, but there's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. We're going to have a complete victory. We've already, in theory, had a complete victory from the military standpoint. The military, look, their Navy is dead. They have 150. They had 159 ships. Right now they have 0, other than the little speedboats that go around that got taken out 8 a day by us. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft. Now, they probably put the shoulder jobs into service over the last 3 weeks, probably. But essentially, they have no anti-aircraft. They have no radar. And frankly, their leaders have been killed at the first level, second level, and half at the third level. And then they come back and they want to negotiate, and they give us it's a stupid proposal. And nobody would take it, although Obama would have taken it, Biden would have taken it. What they took was far worse. So we stopped them twice. We stopped them when I terminated the worst deal probably ever made in the history of our country in terms of defense. That was the Iran nuclear deal penned by Barack Hussein Obama. That would have given Iran a nuclear weapon within a year. They would have had it years ago. I terminated that in my first term. And then when that beautiful plane right there hit them hard, we really hit them hard. And they told me, I want to just tell you this because they like to say, oh, well, maybe it wasn't that hard a hit. Iran told me very strongly, because they intend to give us the nuclear dust, as I call it. It's easier than talking about other terms because it's a term everyone, but the nuclear dust, which is what we hit, they told me number one, you're getting it, but you're going to have to take it out because the site was so obliterated that there's only 1 or 2 countries in the world that could get it. It's so deep and got hit so hard that there's no way they have the equipment to move it. You and China are the only 2 countries in the world that could take it out. So we talked about it, and they said, you'll have to take it out because we don't have the capability of doing it.
Esa es la primera parte del discurso. Donald Trump también habló en este evento sobre la situación del alto al fuego. Y quizás sea lo más importante. ¿Este alto al fuego va a seguir? ¿Este alto al fuego solo es temporal? Porque si ya no quieres negociar con Irán, esto significa que de la noche a la mañana, en cualquier momento puedes atacar, ¿no? Esto significa automáticamente que la guerra va a regresar. Y con un Donald Trump enojado, con un Donald Trump herido, te puedes encontrar con una sorpresa muy complicada.
It was just unacceptable. You know, a lot of people said, well, does he have a plan? Yeah, of course they do have the best plan ever.
For the time being, the ceasefire remains in place?
You know, it's unbelievably weak, I would say. I would call it the weakest right now. After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. They said, I'm not going to waste my time reading it. I would say it's one of the weakest right now. It's on life support. They understand. These are all medical people. Dr. Oz, life support is not a good thing. Do you agree?
Bad prognostic.
I would say the ceasefire is on massive life support, where the doctor walks in and says, sir, your loved one has approximately a 1% chance of living. Look, I've had to deal with them 4 or 5 times. They change their mind. They're very dishonorable people. The leadership. Don't forget it's the 3rd level. The 1st level is gone. They were unreasonable. The 2nd level is more reasonable. The 3rd level, nobody wants to be president, you know. They say, who wants to be president? There's nobody raises their hand, you know. But they change their mind. I've had that in business many times. The mind changers, you call them. These people that you make a deal, and then the next day they send you a document that takes 5 days to get there when it should have been there in 20 minutes. You know, it's a pretty simple document. They will never have a nuclear weapon, yeah? The level of ferocity for protests, you know, the people are watching it. They want to go out on the streets. They have no weapons. They have no guns. We thought the Kurds were going to give us weapons, but the Kurds disappointed us. The Kurds take. They have a great reputation in Congress. Congress says, oh, they fight so hard. No, they fight hard when they get paid. So I'm very disappointed in the Kurds, but they were given. I said it wasn't going to work, by the way. I guess I have to say it. I disagreed with what they did. They gave it. I said, they'll never get there. And I was right. I like to be right. In this case, too bad, but we sent some guns with ammunition, and they were supposed to be delivered, but they kept it. I said, they're going to keep it, but what do I know? I've only been doing this a short period of time. What do I know? Go ahead.
Hasta el chistoso se quiere hacer Donald Trump. Según él, recibiría una bala por su país. Pero no está al frente de la batalla contra Irán. No es allá como un soldado más. No puede decir que está dispuesto a todo. Que han intentado acabar con su vida. Hemos visto montajes, incluso los de los ovnis se veían más reales que Trump. Si este video te gustó, no olvides darle like y compartir y suscribirte. Nos vemos la próxima.